Hello again and welcome back to the PhatPhish Guitar Studio. I'm Dave and welcome to the Absolute Beginners series of guitar tutorials. You're actually joining partway through the series and I recommend you do these in order, so I'll put a link in the information section down there to part one so you can start and go through these in order. See you back here once you've been through the earlier tutorials. Now what we did when we learned the 12-bar blues chord progression was we learned it in different keys. Now you can do a similar sort of thing with this lead line. You move it around and whatever note you're starting on, that's the key that you're playing in. And the relationships, the distances between the notes is kind of a constant. So as long as you move by the same amount, you will get the notes that belong to that key. So let's think about the chords that we saw when we played the 12-bar blues in the key of G. Starting on a G chord, 5 semitones up from G is C, so play a C chord, and then 2 semitones up from that, or 7 semitones up from G, get D, so we'll play the D chord. So 12-bar blues in the key of G uses G, C and D. Now we can move the notes around from this bass line, and if you think that we're playing in the key of A here because we're starting on an A note, if we started on a G, so let's go down 2 semitones from A flat or G sharp, G, and then play that same pattern so the distances between the notes is kind of a constant. We're always going up by 1 string and 2 frets, then back down 2 frets, but up a string and then up 2 frets. Play that same walking bass line. Yeah, it sounds the same, doesn't it? That's what we started with in the key of A, and this is it in the key of G. So we're starting on a G note, and we can play that through and move it around in a similar way that we did when we're playing the key of A. So we go up by 5 semitones, or up 1 string in effect, and we started on a C note, and then back down to G. Go up 7 semitones, and we're starting on a D, down to a C, and then back down to G. So let's think about the notes that we're playing there. Start off on a G, move the pattern up so it starts on a C, back down to the G, then we'll move it up so the pattern starts on a D, down to a pattern that starts on the C, and back down so we're starting on G. So the first note there in each pattern is a G, a C and a D. The G, C and D, they're the notes in our 12-bar blues chord progression in the key of G. So that pattern, we can move it around, and whatever note you're starting on, that's the key that you're playing in. So we don't actually know the chords yet for playing in the key of B, but if I moved that up and started at the 7th fret on the bottom E string, I'm playing in the key of B. And I can take the pattern up a string, move it up a couple of frets. So we've got a very movable shape there. So that's something to bear in mind. If you know what note you're starting on with this progression, it happens that the first note we play is the note of the key. You can play that progression alongside the chords from that key. As I said before, when you get into music theory in more detail, this really starts to make a lot more sense, and you understand more about what notes are involved in a key, what the relationship is between them, what the relationship is between the notes within the scale of that key and the chords that are available to you. But for now, this is more about getting you playing. So what we've looked at is how to play like a lead line, a melody line, played just using 2 fingers, but it's a starting point. And we can kind of move that around, and hopefully you've got the coordination and you've got the alternate picking and all that starting to come together. We go in and understand how to move that around, and by knowing what note you're starting on, you know what key you're playing it. Or if someone says, I need you to play this in the key of D, you know that if you move up and your first note on that in that pattern is a D, you can play it in the key of D, like that.